I was born after the world ended. Not after the firestorms people still whisper about. Not after the oceans swallowed cities or the skies turned strange colors. I was born after something quieter happened. After the moment when humanity stopped believing that tomorrow was worth preparing for. By the time I arrived, the word before had lost its meaning. No one spoke about it clearly. Memories were fragmented, distorted, passed down like broken heirlooms that no longer fit together. The old world existed only as echoes, flickering screens that looped the same corrupted footage, books with missing pages, photographs of people smiling at things we no longer recognized. We didn't grow up hearing stories of hope. We grew up learning procedures. How to purify water when the filters fail. How to grow food under artificial light. How to listen to the sound of machines and know which ones were close to dying. How to live without asking too many questions. Curiosity was considered dangerous, not because knowledge was forbidden, but because it reminded people of what they had lost. The structures we lived in were never meant to feel like homes. They were shelters, repurposed from towers that once held thousands of lives. Entire floors sat empty, sealed off, forgotten. Hallways stretched longer than necessary, lit by lights that flickered like tired stars. Every day followed the same rhythm. Wake up to the low hum of generators, check the barriers, monitor the air systems, eat without taste, sleep without dreams. No one talked about rebuilding. Survival was the highest ambition we were allowed to have. They told us the outside world was dead, that the air would poison us, that the land beyond the walls had nothing left to offer but silence and decay. We accepted this because fear was easier than uncertainty. But fear has a strange weakness. It relies on repetition, and repetition dulls its edge. I began noticing inconsistencies, environmental readings that didn't match the warnings, old doors sealed without explanation, maps marked as uninhabitable even though no one alive had ever seen those places. The elders insisted the systems were unreliable, that curiosity was a luxury we could not afford, that stepping outside would mean death. Still, something inside me refused to stay quiet. I wanted to know what the sky actually looked like. When I finally saw it without filters, it didn't feel like rebellion, it felt like awakening. There was no fire, no toxic haze, no immediate punishment for standing beneath it. Just clouds, moving slowly across a pale blue expanse, indifferent to the ruins below. The air didn't burn my lungs, the ground didn't crumble beneath my feet. For the first time in my life, I felt something unsettling. The world didn't look dead. It looked abandoned. Nature hadn't waited for permission to return. Plants had grown through cracked concrete. Vines wrapped themselves around collapsed structures as if reclaiming forgotten ground. Animals moved carefully through spaces once crowded with people, unafraid, unchallenged. The planet hadn't been destroyed, it had adjusted. That realization hurt more than any story of apocalypse ever could, because it meant the end wasn't absolute, it was selective. The world didn't die, human ambition did. I began to understand that the collapse wasn't caused by one great disaster. It was a slow erosion of belief. Each generation convinced that repairing the damage was impossible. Each decision made out of fear rather than faith. Humanity didn't vanish overnight. It gradually chose to stop continuing. The machines still worked. The land still breathed. The sky still turned colors at dusk. But people stopped imagining a future that included themselves. We were raised to endure, not to create, to preserve ruins, not to build something new. Hope was treated like a dangerous illusion, something that could get you killed. Standing beneath an open sky, I realized how small that belief was. The world did not need saving. It never did. It would go on, with or without us. The question was never whether Earth could recover. It was whether we would dare to return to it. I was born after the world ended, but now I think that might not be true. Maybe I was born after the moment humanity stopped surrendering. The ruins still stand, the silence still lingers, the machines still hum in the dark. But beyond the walls, the future isn't gone. It's waiting, quietly, patiently.